Hello YouTube, hello Twitch. Sorry if I sound a bit soft-spoken right now, I'm feeling particularly unwell. But I've pulled myself out of my deathbed to play on the patch day. So there's a pretty big patch that's come out into Standard and Battlegrounds if that interests you. And I want to play one of the decks that's been hit the most by the patch, and hit most in the positive sense of the word. What were the patch notes? Well, fortunately enough, I've got them here. Paladin got 2 nerfs, Keeper Strength went up in mana, and the Prismatic Beam went up in mana, and also it doesn't go to all enemies anymore, it's just enemy minions. So it's 3 less damage going to the face. Do I think that's going to matter for Holy Paladin? When you're playing against it, it feels very unholy to me, but do I think that's going to matter? No. Paladin's still going to be insane. I tweeted out about this. I think these were the 2 worst cards to pick to nerf out of all of the Paladin cards. Like, I feel like the thing that's obnoxious with Paladin right now is it's so hard to trade the early game minions into Paladin, and then they can snowball that early game minions with the auras. I think that's what feels so sucky about it. Also, the mana cheat is insane right now on the Garden's Grace. Personally, what I would have done is removed Holy from Boogie down. Doesn't make sense, it's a holy spell anyway. And then possibly some of the early cards, even something like High-Ho's Silverwing, which I think goes under the radar as kind of a slightly sleeper OP card. It's a 2-1 Divine Shield minion that shoots us for holy spells and draws it. That's pretty solid. I wouldn't mind them like pulling back a little bit on the old Divine Shields. That being said, we're about to come through a rotation, so this is probably something the dev team are aware of right now, and I imagine they'll look at that into the future, so maybe we just have to wait a month or so. Splish Splash Whelp is now a 1-1, not a 2-1, completely irrelevant. It's still going to be insane. It's mana ramp for 2 mana, it's 1 mana less than the card whose name's just escaped me. It's called Miracle Growth, the 3 mana gain an empty mana crystal. It's still 2 mana, and you get a 1-1 on top of it. It's still going to be really good. Same, Nest Matron, definitely is going to make a difference. It's lost 1 health. It is still 0 mana 3/4 turn. That is still really good. So I still think Dragon Druid is going to be really strong. The staff from really all that's playing it right now is the Highlander Shaman deck. It's had 1 attack removed from it. Actually, that's a pretty big difference. It's a pretty big deal. This thing would actually chunk you down pretty hard if you didn't get rid of it. I mean, it was like 18 damage in the weapon, irrespective of the frogs. There were some games where, like, you could deal with all the frogs and the weapon itself would have dealt the damage. I think it's fair enough to go to a 1-attack weapon. I think it's going to hurt Shaman a lot, but it's still going to be playable. Arcane Worm is now a 1-1, also irrelevant, because really you only put that into the deck as a 1-drop, and a 1-drop that generated you an Arcane Bolt. Fine. Pyrotechnician has died for the sins of Thaddeus, so Fire Druid became a thing just as the World Championships were coming up. I don't think anyone brought it to the World Championships from what I remember. Unfortunately, it coincided with some Overwatch events, and I was trying to like watch both of them. But I'm pretty certain no one brought Fire Druid. And apparently the win rate is now going up was going up pretty extensively in Legend. They said in the notes somewhere, if I read through it, we didn't have time to try and address this, so we've just removed Pyrotechnician. Why they didn't remove Thaddeus? I don't know. But Pyrotechnician, you've died for the sins of Thaddeus. Now to some of the buffs. Elise now summons 5/5 copies instead of 4/4 copies. That's decent, that's more stats. I mean, it's 5/5 more in stats if you have no duplicates and you get the effect off and you have 4 minions in your deck. I'm going to be intrigued to see this. I might try some more Highlander Priest decks. Interestingly, Pip also got buffed. So it's 1 mana cheaper but lost 2 health for the pleasure of doing so, which is actually a pretty good deal. Pip was actually seeing some play in Naga Priest, and the win rate of that is slowly going up, and the frequency of which deck is played is going up, so I was kind of surprised they buffed this. I actually think it was fine at 4 mana, but we'll see what it does at 3. Shadeleaf has got 2 additional damage added to it, irrelevant. I still think the card is going to be bad, but if you want 2 bursts of single target removal for 5 mana in total, there's your card. Radun. This was the most interesting one, I think, of all the changes. I thought it was going to get a 1 mana discount, but they actually added Taunt to it instead, so your opponent is kind of forced to deal with this. I'm certain there is going to be some sort of minion-based priest deck, maybe even with control in it, that tries to abuse this rather than summons a bunch of giant guys that are just really awkward to remove. Unfortunately, my sick brain right now hasn't got the comprehension skills to work this out, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to definitely try a priest deck in the future. But here are the ones that we're going to actually check out. So this is the Thief, Burgle, cast cards from other class, whatever you want to call it, Conjurman Stash Rogue deck. The Azerite Scorpion has been changed. It used to be give you 4 random spells, and if you excavated 8 times, they would cost 0. Instead, now you get 4 random spells when you play the Azerite Scorpion, and each one costs 1 less for every time you've excavated this game, but not less than 1. That's a pretty big mana cheat now. At the very least, the first cycle, you're getting a 4 mana discount on the spells you get. That might be good enough. Unfortunately, it's 4 random spells. You might get 4 1-cost spells, in which case it does nothing. But we're going to find that out now. So I'm going to try and play this Excavate Rogue deck. Velrock was also buffed. You don't have to play 3 cards now while this is in hand from other classes. It's just 1, and he will reveal his true form. I still think this card is bad, but we'll see. Shell Game got a 1 mana discount. I still think this card is bad, but we're going to see. And here come the weird ones. So this was put in the buff category. The Barrel of Sludge has been changed from a 2 mana spell that did 3 damage to a 3 mana that does 4, bearing in mind it's cast if it's played, discarded, or destroyed. I'm 99% certain this is a nerf. It's not a buff. I get it that it's a buff that if you're playing discard Warlock and you discard this, you're getting 1 more damage on the Barrel of Sludge. But in my experience from any time I got some sort of sludge-like mechanic to work, it was in a more tempo-orientated deck where you could weave in some of these sludge plays to try and, do a bit of extra damage to the face, maybe clear a minion off the board. 1 extra mana is actually huge. And actually, it's, as an effect, if you just looked at this as 2 mana do 3 damage, or 3 mana do 4, you want 2 mana do 3 damage. It's just a better damage for the mana cost, right? This is just, frankly, a nerf unless you cheat it by 3 mana instead, in which case it's a buff. But I don't think the discard package for Warlock is good enough, so therefore I think this is actually just a flat-out nerf to the Sludge archetype. That being said, Furnace Fuel got a mana discount as well, but again, this is irrelevant. Like, if you're going to increase the mana on this one and increase the effect, you're basically saying we think the discard synergy is going to be good enough that we can put extra damage on it. So why have you reduced the mana cost of this one? Why didn't you make it draw 3 cards instead? This is Arcane Intellect now, but if you discard it, it's 0 cost. I don't know. I feel like it feels a bit weird. Maybe the other reason why the Sludge got changed, though, was Popgar. He now discounts fell spells by 2. So if you play Popgar, the effect of the barrels is actually better. You get 1-cost barrels to do 1 extra damage. You get a little bit extra life. Do I think all of this combined together is going to make the Sludge Warlock good, Toxic Warlock? No, I actually think it's worse. And then finally, the other deck they've tried to enable is Rainbow Death Knight. Moronpor has gained 1 attack, it's now a 2/8. Irrelevant. It's only relevant if the spending and gaining of corpses is worth it, which basically means does Climatic Necrotic Explosion now do enough work to warrant building your entire deck around it, forgoing 2 rune cards, forgoing the 3 rune cards. It was changed. It now, instead of doing 5 damage summoning 2 1/1s, it now does 6 damage summons 3 2/2s. So you are getting more bang for your buck. It's still not this great finisher though, therefore I don't think the juice is going to be worth the squeeze, but I'll try it out at some point. The one card I think from all of this though that is really interesting, at least for the Death Knight Rainbow package, and I actually think this might go into some other deck. Corpse Bride has been changed. The Risen Groom now has Taunt, which is actually a really big change. If you play a bunch of, plebs, low-cost plebs, like in your Unholy deck, they all get cleared up by a control deck. Playing a Corpse Bride on 5 and getting, potentially a 10-10 with Taunt, that is really scary. It's 14-14 worth of stats. Now, what are the odds of you having 10 corpses by turn 5? Probably pretty low, but I mean, I'm sure people will try and make this happen. And even if you only get like 8-8 up, 7-7, the taunt is scary. You can't ignore it. You have to use resources to clear it, including your minions. Finally, Khazgroth got 1 health buff. Unnecessary. I thought Khazgroth was fine. He's more fine now. Some Odin decks will run him, some won't run him. Personally, I like him in the Odin deck. I prefer it to the Excavate package in general. But fine. The Hearthstone team must have the stats. Maybe it's underperforming. Slugmore, they've buffed it. 4 mana do nothing is now 4 mana do nothing. It's irrelevant. Okay, the effect is actually now that it's not dormant for 8 turns, it's 6 turns. It's 4 mana do nothing. The card is still terrible. Don't let it fool you. Don't let 4 mana 16/16 fool you. It still gets unwound by a 1 mana pre-spell. And then finally, Horseshoe Slinger, which was probably the worst quick draw card in the game, is now slightly less worse. It's got a 1 mana discount and lost 1 of the stats. Are you going to be putting this in your decks? Probably not, but it is more tempting now. If there's some sort of tempo mech deck, maybe Horseshoe Slinger might make its way in there if you're trying to fight for board control with Paladin, but personally, I don't think it will be. Anyway, that's the patch notes. Let's get to the gaming. So, as I said, I want to play the Thief Rogue package. I'm actually not going to conflate this with the Wishing Well package this time. It is literally just pure generate cards from other classes, and then get as much value from Tess as is humanly possible. It's not actually quite true that I'm doing that. I'm actually dropped the breakdances from the deck, so I can only bounce it back 2 times. So I'm hoping 2 times is enough. I've thrown in the deck Stick Up. I've thrown in the deck the Shell Game, which I think is going to be bad. Velrock, welcome back. You're in the deck. So, and obviously the Excavation package is here, so we'll get a Scorpion, which was the other big change. Surely this makes the deck good, right? You might be able to tell by... I mean, I'm pretty unwell, so maybe you can't tell. But I was being sarcastic. I really think this is not going to make a blind bit of difference. We're going to have 1 in 7 games where it's going to look really good. And then 6 and 7 that are just giga terrible.
Set sail for glory.
Okay. Stick Up I probably want to play a little bit later into the game, but we'll try it early. I tried to put as many of the Discover cards from potentially other classes, rather than just get random cards from other classes. Maybe that's good enough. Anyway, 1 mana, 1/3. Do something in 3 turns. Wow. What a great card. I also threw the Concoction package into this deck, as you may be able to tell. I'm not entirely certain why. You know what? Embrace the chaos. I probably should have some damage, but I've got Serrated Bone Spike in hand. I think really what I was looking for there was a little bit of draw, but I need to be careful because I'm going to be generating a lot of value. And it might be hard for me to play said value. Oh, well, there's the big headshot honcho of the deck. Tess is here. If we lose Tess, we lose the game. That's a really good minion to get, by the way. Did I not attack as well on turn 2? I'm dumb. Or am I? I would have overdrawn. Yeah, this thing coming back through Tess. Very sweet. Okay, that's probably minion is going to be my guess. Let's see what's in the shovel first. Let's see what's in the Stick Up first. I'll take it. That's a little bit risky to throw in my Tess. In theory, all of them might hit Tess and we just lose the Tess, which would feel pretty bad. So I'm going to try and generate some more minions. I've already got the Khan, so it's pretty unlikely that's going to happen. Okay. Not a good 2-drop treasure, sadly. One other thing I could do here is bounce the Khan back and play it again so the Tess gets more value, if you know what I mean. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I want to bounce Tess back more. If the game was a little bit closer, I thought I could, you know, beat them down, then maybe I would have considered that. Ah, it's improved Kazgaroth. Flint, it's time for you to shine, buddy. Hey! That actually matters. And Velrock is active now. And Misfire is active. Wait, if I use Misfire, then I lose my guys. That's not a good idea. I think I just burn a card in my hand here. Shell Game is going to be drawing 2 additional cards, including, you know, removing itself. I simply need the hand space. By the way, is this 1-spell warrior? Because they're running some slightly odd cards. I don't know if I've seen a spell yet. Ah, Potion Master. Potion Master, coming at ya. Okay. I'm getting a bit worried that my Misfire is going to misfire. Serpent Wig. Jungle Jammer. Or a Taunt guy. I'm gonna try Jungle Jammer. Okay, destroy 2 random minions. I'm gonna heal you this time. 3, 6, 9, perfect. I just feel like this is a better thing to come out of Tess as well. I can just push the damage to the face. Be a bit more aggressive. By the way, if Tess does get killed during, you know, Tess things, then bouncing Drill is not the absolute worst thing, and maybe the Scorpion's now good enough to give me big value. Okay, it is Odin Warrior. They've now started playing spells. That's cool. Well, that is annoying, but let's play this. Burrow Boy. I mean, we've got a lot of removal, so I want to just spend my mana right now.
Beware my blade.
That's pretty funny.
By the sea.
Three, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9.
Smidge of this, a pinch of that.
I think that card is just better for me than them, so it's kind of irrelevant. You can never stick them up. They have enough board clear anyway. Yeah, well done. I don't need Assassinate. I've got Assassinate options. I knew Brawl was incoming. Well, that's arguably the best thing that could have won. Okay, Shell Game, I can't play you right now. I can't handle all this value. Do I want that to be another Shadowstep? I think that's actually fine. If that goes off 2 times, I don't know if the quick draw effect goes off. I don't think it does actually. Maybe I've misplayed. But if I can make my opponent's spells cost 2 more next time, or when I play Tess, that's going to make the Tess turn really hard to answer. Okay, that's 2 of their removals gone. Only like 18 more left. Interesting. Greedy, I like it. They're both neutrals. Oh, wait, of course it had to be within my class. Well, Zuta Law. Alright, I can't wait on that. Alright, I can't play any of that. To be fair, I've got like most of the cards I need in hand.
Our gift of fire empowers us.
That's interesting. Three, 6, 7. Aha! My own Astalor.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us. Amuse me.
Aha! Their own Odin. Okay. Now that they've played Odin, we kind of just have to go for it. Start generating infinite value and praying. I think we attack first.
You have no idea.
Tess, please live. I hate you. I hate you. I honestly forgot about Switcheroo. Hey! We did actually get a kill, though. Alright, return.
Beware my blade. Swiftly. Can't but slider.
The heal is so nice, though. Doesn't matter, though, apparently. Well, that made a huge difference to change to the Scorpion there. I was really happy that, you know, that I get a discount now. I would have got a 4-mana discount had I been able to play it. You know, if I had hand room for it. Alright, more control decks, i.e. more losing in our future. Shovel into shovel is interesting, but I can always... Oh, yeah, I hate you. I can always push the button. So I assume this is Highlander. Surely it's Highlander. They're trying out the new cards. And by new cards, I mean the buffed cards. I just had a big issue in clearing my hand. I actually think I don't take draw this time. Maybe 3 to the face? I'm probably playing Drilly on 4. So I want to be playing this on 3. Unless... Be a card I can play. They never guess Bone Lord Frost Whisperer. I can't take it because they might run Dirty Rat. Wow, they guessed right. I guess they picked the second best card because I imagine that's not that good for Priest. What was my other option again? I felt like the middle option was better. They might have just outplayed it. Anyway, let's see what is in the 2-drop treasure. Fine. Let's keep the tempo up. Cool. They remove 1 damage. I simply do not care. And if my theory is true and then it's a Highlander deck, they don't have another Holy Nova. And even if they do, they're only removing 3 damage. Slash, depends what comes out of this. Maybe only 1 again. It's not though. Ravendare. Face is the place, right? There's no silencing quick draw. Priest, you're in a race. I don't know if you know this. It honestly doesn't matter too much. It's a bit of a shame that I missed that. I am going to kill the 2/6, by the way. They don't win the game by getting that off. It's way too slow. I was going to say, if I generate a few red pots, though, that is a way to win the game. Alright, that's one of the Rivendare pieces, and the best one for them, of course. 3, 2, 1. I need 3 damage. If only you had done your goddamn job. Stop trying to give it me.
The more you struggle, the better.
Get a coin. Do I want a coin? I should have played Potion Bell. What am I doing? That was so much the most likely option to win. I just needed 1 red pot. Why didn't I just play Potion Belt and look for a red pot? It was 3 and 5 times 2.
I didn't intentionally pursue leadership, but I find it quite suits me.
Wow. They literally only have Rivendare and Badlands. Okay, folks, if you're going to build a Elise deck, I wouldn't recommend their idea of it. It just requires you to play Rivendare on 6, draw into Elise, and then live with only spells in your deck. And then for your opponent not to have any form of silence, and or ignore the board.
Maiev versus Scarlet.
Let the blight begin. Set sail for glory.
Man, I forgot I've made a deck with no ETC in it. If this is Plagues, we're in an interesting spot. That being said, if I can get Tess, I could keep my hand at 10 cards and just never draw a Plague. Oh, it's Blood Death Knight, isn't it? Well, here we go. Time to excavate. Scorpion, you might actually show your worth this game. Oh, unless they're playing Rainbow. Maybe they're playing Rainbow. He's called Badder. I think he is. I think he's playing Rainbow. And or he's playing Highlander Blood Death Knight. You wouldn't play that deck though, right? You're definitely playing Rainbow. The winner's choice. And by winner's choice, I mean not actually win rate, but morally speaking. Right, nearly got them below 30 health. Get there. Keep chipping away at them, miners. Gonna kill it with 3 damage. Still could be Rainbow. Generate Magnetize, question mark? None of the quick draw guys are magnetic either. You know what? We actually might be able to make that work. It's crazy, I know, but it might just work. So let's do a projection I nearly put in this deck, funnily enough. I'm going to take it.
Beware my blade.
Created a temporal.
The reason I nearly put it into the deck was to bounce back these guys. I can't play it.
Have we hit?
Whatever. 0 mana 3/2 is still good. I think it is Rainbow, by the way. Blood would have cleared this up way easier. Think for like a microsecond before you make your play.
Beware my blade.
And that's why I should think for more than a microsecond.
Astronomical.
It's actually just bad that there's a 2-4 now. But I didn't really want the other things. I'm not going to be comboing cards in this deck. It's Blood Death Knight. It's Highlander Blood Death Knight. And I thought you were cool. How wrong was I? Always discover last. We'll talk about that later. I don't know if there's any... Actually, Velrock. Hang on a minute. a cooking lesson may occur. I don't really want to play this. There's the Scorpion. I guess I'll forge it. I have 2 mana to spare. I was actually going to break the weapon, but I'm going to have hand issues pretty soon, so... Maybe this is fine. You generated creation protocol. Are you kidding? Oh, you know what? I'm glad they did that before or after they played Mograine. If they generated creation protocol and copied Mograine, I'd be a little bit upset. Anyway, I definitely want this to try and copy Velrock for the memes. Wow. I guess the rest is dying. Go for random spells. Wow. That might be some of the worst spells I've ever seen. Unless... I was hoping we would get... whatchamacallit? Mograine and Mograine them back, but... This is fine. Drilly. Go away. Well, that's the card we generated, so enjoy it.
Beware my blade.
4 random spells, ladies and gentlemen. Very good. Okay, they have 2 Ignises.
My blood for the Lich King.
What's in the shovel? A rock. Don't hit Shadowstep. The rest I'm okay with. Thank you. Protect my face from the inevitable 10-drop weapon with Wind Fury Lifesteal. Actually, Wind Fury armor gain, sorry. No, never mind. Lifesteal, gain 8 armor. It's going to be a little bit awkward. Do I just keep throwing stuff at the face? We have a Scorpion. Scorpion Mark II. This time they're going to be discounted by 8. It's fine. The 2 attacks are really going to make the difference here. Wow, instant. Come on, random spells. Interesting. Funny. What if I Shadowstep Mograine? What if I Shadowstep Mograine? I mean, that's not fair. Wow. Did not expect that. Of course they got an insane random spells. Two, 6, 3, 4. I can't justify bouncing it back. As funny as it is, I can't. So, 9 damage is incoming. It's going to leave me on 3. But I'm threatening lethal, so if they don't have the 3 direct damage, we win. Well, I say that. They are going to gain for 13. Nice. Didn't go to face. I can live with it. Now, how greedy do I want to be? How How greedy does one want to be? Probably not that greedy.
Talk, little Death Knight.
So we are going to do 3 to all because of Crash of Thunder.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Then we bounce it. Then we disguise. Wait, if I do this though, no more Tess. I've not got enough time. You know what? If we lose Tess, we lose Tess. That is an unbelievably bad roll. 6 mana, 6/6, and a 9 mana 4/4. Thanks. Thanks, Hearthstone.
By the seas.
I do have Velrock plus Shapeless though now.
You have no idea what I'm.
I've accepted we're losing it, don't worry. Now that is interesting. Oh, shoot. I thought it was a bit later in the chain.
Is named, quote, one of the best homes of 2023, end quote, by U.S. News and World.
So I gain 4 more armor next turn.
Talk, little Death Knight.
38. Oh my god. I'm more Ignis. Oh, they've got Wind Fury plus something. Prep. So 7, 11, 15. Potentially 23. I think I've got 26 damage potentially, but the likelihood of that going through is low. Live the dream. We're probably losing next turn anyway. Uh-oh! Okay, now I need to live.
Haven't seen that before. Swiftly.
How does one go about living? I think that's all I can do. I'm gonna guess they have Wind Fury 10-drop weapon. Oh no, deal 6 damage, more lifesteal. Alright, we made them sweat. In a game we had no chance of winning. All it took was for you to generate Creation Protocol and hit Ignis. And then for me not to have any weapon destruction in the deck. Yeah, I probably should consider that.
I will do my best to save him, my lord.
Oh my god. Eliana Evander, I believe is your name. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. You know what, I'll keep this. Prep Shell Game turn 1, see what we get. Prep Shell Game Coin Kobold. By the way, I can see the patch has done huge things. We're just playing against decks that were the same as the ones before the patch. With the exception, I'll grant you, of one deck. We played against a very unhinged priest deck. Which, now that I think about it, the Elise change literally didn't make a difference for that deck. Because why did it matter if you got 5/5s of your guys? Because you want them to die. You'd prefer them to be 4/4s. Sure, we need to go aggressive here. 3 damage or summon a 3 cost? Give me summon a 3 cost. Obviously, I knew I couldn't play that this turn. Smile. It's still going to be good for next turn. I mean, that's never going to happen. I guess I take this. I'm considering shadow stepping it, but I won't. I'll take the 4. Oh, wow, big change. 0 mana 3/4. Never mind, sorry. 0 mana 7/9 taunt. Wow! Well done, balance team. You've knocked it out of the park with this one. Alright. Give me a good card. Seven restore 2 doesn't really do anything for me because I don't have anything in hand that can deal with the rest of them. So I guess I'll take a Silver Serpent. It's also better for something to come out of Tess in the future. In fact, maybe Shadow Stepping this back. Yeah, I actually don't hate this line. I lose a Shadow Step doing this. Boo-hoo. But 2 serpents coming out of my Tess in the future is going to be really scary. And it gives me an answer to the big golem board. Or at least it gives me an answer to 2 of the minions.
We all exist in harmony.
And it's probably incoming. Doesn't help. I guess Runic Adornment. I'm also kind of intrigued what Runic is going to give me in Rogue. Probably more generation is my guess. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, we can kill 2 of them. Flint, give me Heat Wave. It's just serpents all the way down, apparently. Alright, that I can't do. It's only 9 incoming damage right now. Will you make trades so that you can keep a minion? Nope, they're just going face. Probably the right answer. Interesting. Two, three, four. Two, 6, 7. Still alive. And I'm slowly, like, dragging my way back into the game. And I've been undragged. Three to all is my win con now, right? Collapse. Random spell to my way out, question mark. 7, 4. That doesn't matter. 3, 4. Yep, random spells. I can play none of them because I can't get less than 1. Good point.
It sings to me.
Alright. Again, round of applause for the Hearthstone balance team. The changes made a huge difference there to Druid. Was one of the most popular decks of the World Championships, received no nerfs? No, sorry, they nerfed the card that didn't matter what its stats were. That's right. Again, it made a huge difference there. The Welt being 1-1 and not 2-1. Didn't play it, but... Shh. Aha, Paladin. Let's see the big changes to Paladin now. They nerfed the 2 cards that are very good for control Paladin. I'll admit they were used in Holy Paladin too. Let's see how good it feels now to play versus Paladin. It surely made all the difference, right? As opposed to, you know, all the problem cards with Divine Shield that were really hard to trade with, or the refreshes of the Divine Shields, or the Sea Giant that completely abuses Showdown. I know Sea Giant is not being played that much anymore in the Paladin decks, but it blows my mind how quickly they took Pyrotechnician out of the standard set compared to Sea Giant. But whatever. This is just a little bit of salty sickness right now. I will concede the Scorpion is better now. The deck still is garbage, though. Not gonna lie, do you know why? I know I got the coin. That's why I prepped. I'm gonna need Destroy a guy. Destroy 2 guys. I think this changes what I'm going to do. I think I now Astalor for tempo, maybe.
Beware my blade.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
I'm pretty certain he's Holy Paladin. So, as long as I just clear the giant guy, we should be fine. Boogie down, by the way, didn't get touched. The win rate on the card is like 60% right now, not touched. Okay, it's not 60%, but it's pretty goddamn high. Okay, 2. See what's in the shovel. See what is in thy shovel. Okay. So far, so good. We can actually outvalue the Paladin if they don't have a way to clear Putricide. I assume they do. Unless... What if they don't? What if they don't? To leave the luck to the draw.
I will do my best to save him, my lord.
Nancy12, thank you for the follow as well, much appreciated. This is kind of weird. This dies to get a copyright. Yes. Then trade, do another 1 damage. Trade. I get more junk. Do I coin button hit? No. Do I send everything back to the bottom of the deck? No. We just hold. It feels bad to leave a mana on the table there, but... Okay, now they're just going to heal for all of their health, because the auras are very fun and interactive. Prep. Do I have a way to deal with both? Yes, I do. The problem with this, though, is that the Burrow Buster is going to die in the process, because the aura is going to hit it again. Wait, what was I doing then? Oh, prep into this one kills both. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze on that one is the thing. I kind of hate this, but I don't have a better idea right now. It denies them the minion on the board. I just don't feel good trading the 6-5 into the 6-3. And then giving up board, but at the very least, they don't get to push with damage with the aura. I also use my double purple pot, which I would have rather not.
Mother, we seek your counsel.
Earthen Paladin. Okay.
She has heard our plea.
It's a stick up. Heatwave or lay down the law? Heatwave is just better here. I could also steal the card, but I don't have a way to clear the other one, so we'll go with Heatwave. Fantastic. What a card. I can't speed it along with my other concoction, though. Okay, the aura is done. I repeat, the aura is done. Drilly the Kid is here. It's time for the Scorpion value, right? Insane Scorpion value incoming. Grind them down. Oh, another aura.
Reporting for duty.
So I can get this active now, if I want it to be. It's a lot of cards, though, I'm looking at. There's Tess. Interesting. Do I want 5 armor? I'll take it. Astalor may legitimately be a good play next turn. Even without the full... Oh, I'm dumb. I can't count.
Have we hit rough waters?
That's going to get punished. And by count, I mean I forgot the Divine Shield existed. I should have traded both into the 1-1. Other fun thing about this aura, they're getting the effect on literally every single minion, so it's 3 mana gain, like 12 attack this turn, and it goes for like 3 turns. And this isn't even the very good aura. This aura you can play around a little bit. I will concede, though, that was my misplay. Oh, Showdown! The problem card! It didn't matter! The 1 mana change on Prismatic Beam, irrelevant. Excellent. The patch is working well. Working as intended. That being said, 1, 2, 5, 8, 11, 12. 12 Beanie Boys on board. I just had the 1 Excavate. God, Collapse would be so good here. I might get it. I might get it. I didn't get it. I sure as hell didn't get it. Okay. We should therefore... The aura's gonna go. Let me deal with you. And put a taunt on the board. And maybe we'll copy the gem. I don't know. I probably am just going to play the Scorpion. And hope for the spells just outvalue everything that Paladin's been doing. Great 2 mana 1/3, thanks. Really good 2-drop. Wow, they traded.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, Astalor's actually just insane here. Go get him.
Our gift of fire empowers us.
Okay, we took every minion out. That's perfect. Is there anything in that deck worth copying? Possibly not, but there's definitely stuff worth freezing. There's also stuff worth reverberating. I actually think I'm going to take reverberations. Reverberation. Well, hang on a minute. I was going to say reverberations plus this stored stalactite, but that would replace it, right? Yes.
The battle is over.
The anticlimax of all anticlimaxes. What was that? What was that? How do you not have an answer? I don't understand. How did you not have the gardens grace and all that shenanigans going on? I didn't even get to play my Scorpion. I feel empty now. Anyway, we're going to call this as 2 to 3, and it's going to be the end of the YouTube video and the stream. I might come back and revisit this with some minor changes. One of those minor changes... Okay, call me crazy, I came into this very sarcastic, a bit full of vinegar, you may have noticed. Shell game is garbage still. That card is just... There's no helping it. But actually, the payoff, I think, could be worth it. It's just I can't put as much garbage into my hand, and Shell Game just puts too much garbage into my hand. So take Shell Game out, and then maybe put something in. I don't know what the other thing is, but put something else in the deck. And maybe actually the Contraband Rogue could be better than I think it's going to be. But still, it's going to be like a tier 4 deck. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the patch. I hope you're enjoying playing the same decks you played before, because the patch basically made no difference. And I'll see you again next time, where I try and break down the meta by playing some of the other classes instead. Goodbye.